total yards, also the most by a Wentz team in any of his 73 career starts in the NFL. After staying away for the first couple of weeks of the preseason, 76ers all-star guard Ben Simmons, who said he would not report to the Sixers, reported to the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia Monday night, sources told ESPN. As the Sixers played the Nets, Simmons got a COVID test and could be on his way back. Joel Embiid and Doc Rivers spoke about it today.
It's good for the organization. That's something that, everybody wanted. I've always said that, I believe that it gives us the best, chance to win. We're a better team, with him than without, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. I think he did his COVID test today from reports from WOJ. I'm going to call WOJ to find out what's going on.
All right, Doc, you don't have to call Woj because we did. So, Woj, the Sixers coach would like to know what's going on. So would I. What's going on?
Scott, the morning started with the 76ers talking to Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent, about him coming in. Philadelphia thought he would probably come later in the week. And all of a sudden, near the opening tip tonight of that Brooklyn-Philly preseason game, I'm told that Elton Brand, who's the Sixers general manager, works with Daryl Morey, Doc Rivers, gets a text message essentially saying, hey, Ben's outside the building. He needs to get in to come take his COVID test. And that's how the Sixers found out that Ben Simmons, after 2 weeks away in the preseason, had returned to Philadelphia. He took his COVID test tonight, and he is back. He is back with the organization right now.
Philly fans, I love you. You're nuts. How does this play there? They're so passionate. They love the Sixer team. They went through the process. They lose to the Hawks. We all know what happened. We all know what the acrimony that was present in the offseason. Like, how does this untenable situation work?
This is going to be difficult, and I think Ben Simmons knew that coming back. And I think now for the organization, I think it's on Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey and Joel Embiid, to continue to set that tone that they're welcoming Ben Simmons back in. They want to convince him to stay long term. They want him to reintegrate into this team. There's a lot of conversations that have to happen. Ben Simmons has not been talking with the organization at all, but now he can come in, start those conversations, see where his head is. He has wanted a trade. I think coming back in, there's some thought that by playing, it might get him to a trade quicker, but the organization wants to work on reselling Ben Simmons on a future there. This is going to be fascinating how this plays out, Scott.
I agree. I don't know how it does, but we'll find out. And when things break, you'll break them, and we and Doc will find out together. Thank you for staying up with us late, man. Talk soon.
Thank you, Scott.
CEO Rich Paul made progress in their talks in recent days to bring all-star Ben Simmons back to Philadelphia, sources told ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Who else? We now welcome in Woj for more on this ongoing story. Woj, what led to this reversal from Ben Simmons' camp?
Max, certainly money plays a part in this. Ben Simmons is losing $363,000 a game. And tonight, when he misses that Nets game in Philadelphia, that puts him over $1 million this season in lost money, because you do lose money for the preseason games. But there's been a conversation going on really throughout this process between the 76ers front office and Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent, the CEO of Clutch Sports, about trying to find a way to get Ben Simmons into Philadelphia, get him into the marketplace and go from there. Remember, the team has not talked to Ben Simmons other than that one meeting they had in late August where he reiterated that he wanted a trade. The Sixers would like to get him back in town. Obviously he can stop the bleeding financially by doing that and then get him back onto the floor. But right now, I think there's optimism, some hope that Ben Simmons could be back in Philadelphia, Max, by the end of the week.
Well, nothing to sober you up like losing $363,000 a day. That'll get you sober in a heartbeat about a situation. Woj, are the Sixers still planning to trade Simmons once they get him in the fold, if they do? Or is there hope they might convince him to stay in Philly, and is that what they want?
Well, Max, the Sixers' goal throughout this has been to try to continue to win with Ben Simmons and make the improvements in his game that certainly need to be made that are difference makers in the postseason. Listen, Ben Simmons hasn't changed his stance about wanting to be traded. That's clear. But getting back into camp, potentially playing again, that ultimately is one way to maybe get a trade moving quicker. Philadelphia's talked to the entire league. They've canvassed throughout to make a trade for Ben Simmons, and they've not been able to find the kind of player that they would want back. Remember, they want to get back a star kind of player who they can plug in with Joel Embiid and continue to be championship contenders. That's a hard trade to make because any team who has that player, they want to add Ben Simmons to their team. They don't want to give that up. And so that has certainly slowed trade talks down. Philly could get a good young player or two. They could get multiple draft picks. That's not what they're looking for. But right now, they want to try to repair that relationship with Ben Simmons. Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey, Elton Brand, their group there want to get him back in and at least start talking with him again and see if they could get some buy-in. That will start initially with Ben Simmons getting on a plane in LA and going to Philadelphia some point in the near future. There's hope that that's going to be here in the next several days.
Yeah, thanks, Woj. It just occurs to me. One of the problems may be that, who would have traded for Ben Simmons if he was on the market and devalued? Daryl Morey. Oh, Ben Simmons is undervalued. Let me grab him. The problem is he works for the Sixers. The great Adrian Wojnarowski, ladies and gentlemen. The 76ers open the season at New Orleans on October 20th. Their home opener.
Preseason game, the one coming up is the one where you wanted to maybe get to your rotation and what it was going to look like in the regular season. Do you have takeaways of these 4 games together, even though you haven't seen them, and what you liked and maybe what you didn't like?
Yeah, we got to be better. We haven't played great. There's going to be an adjustment period with so many new faces, and it's we understand that. Hopefully it doesn't take too much time to get everybody on the same page and in sync. Guys, game legs underneath them, all that type of thing. But we certainly got to be better than we were tonight.
On offense, how much do the turnovers reflect that, and what do you think is the main cause?
Yeah, just a lot of guys just trying to integrate into a new system with new teammates. A lot of miscues on passing catch situations, lobs, etc. Situations where we're a little too careless with the basketball. You see that a lot with vets in the preseason, but definitely got to be better.
Staying on the turnovers, Russ had 9 of them, and we saw him had that great pass to AD on the slip. So it's not like he wasn't making some really high-level passes, but some of them seemed like passing in traffic, etc. How would you diagnose the turnovers you saw from him tonight?
Yeah, we'll look at the tape. He's trying. You know what I mean? He's trying hard to distribute and to get his teammates involved, to play extra pass basketball like we're asking him to. New set of teammates, new system. It's going to take some time. Not worried about it.
I actually also have a question related to that. Are you anticipating at some point that Russ's ability to score at the rim is maybe going to take the place of some of those passes? Do you see him? I know there was a discussion of oversharing early in camp. Do you think that's maybe something that he has in his toolbox they could go to more?
Yeah, he's a dynamic rim attacker. One of the best in the league at, I think it was rim field goal attempts, him and Giannis. And, that's what he's going to be for us this year. He's going to be someone that lives in the paint and is either finishing or creating for others.
Frank, BT right here. Bazemore was really active on defense tonight. What did you like about him? And did he give you guys what you keep thinking you'll see from him?
Yeah, he was a star tonight. He was exceptional, really on both sides of the ball, but in particular on the defensive end. 4 steals, just numerous plays where he's in the passing lane, working to contain, pressuring his own man. Really excelled on the defensive end, and then knocked down a few threes as well, and played extra pass basketball. So really excited about what he's doing for us.
Frank, in your conversations with AD throughout training camp and the preseason, what has he expressed are his priorities and his goals with this group, and coming off of last year, coming into the season?
Well, he just wants to have a bounce back year. That's the biggest thing. Just to return to being healthy, getting his legs under him. Coming into the season, game shape. That's the primary goal of the preseason, and obviously he worked a lot on his body to stay on the court more than he was last year. So we expect him to have a great year.